Hello. Okay. Hey everyone. I'm just want to reintroduce myself. My name is Mr. Clemens. I serve as the head ambassador for the Leadership and Engagement Ambassador program here at the Student Union. So let's start. Um, so here at the university, we have a lot of great things that we like to offer the students, and we want to make sure that you are aware of them. I know this fall may not be what everyone has imagined to be, but a lot of us student organizations and the student union have been working really hard and are planning to make sure that you all will still get a great engagement this fall. So to begin, I would like to introduce our three professional staff members. First, we have Will. He's the associate director, and he gets a chance to work with two amazing people that I love to talk to every day. The first one would be Haley. Haley is the assistant director for leadership programming. She also advises the big event and the first year experience program, which is with the Associated Student Body. She's also the director for the Empower program. So if you are a part of the Empower program, you will be hearing a lot from her, or you probably already got a lot of emails from her. Next, we have Jordan. Jordan is the assistant director for student activities. She advises the Student Activities Association, and she's also my advisor for the Leadership and Engagement Ambassadors. Uh, Jordan's a really good person to connect with if you want to learn about how to get involved on campus, because she oversees both, like I said, the Leadership and Engagement Ambassadors, which is a program here to make sure that every student gets involved on campus, and the Student Activities Association, which they are the people that put on a lot of fun events for the students. Also with us, we do have five amazing graduate assistants. We have Blair, who works alongside with Jordan with our Student Activities Association. We have Edwards, who works with our Associated Student Body, and he assists with the programming, and he also works with the first year experience program. Next, we have Emily, who is the graduate assistant for the Rebelthon program. So she helps coordinate the dance marathon and all the different things and programs that they do throughout the semester. Reynolds is another Associated Student Body graduate assistant. He works closely with the finance and governance part of it, the Senate, and the Department of Treasury. Lastly, we have Jenna, who works with the big event and leadership programming, and she helps them coordinate all of the different things that they do. She is also the graduate assistant for the Empower program, so she works closely with Haley. Yes. So what we do and what we like to really talk about are three things that we provide for the students here at the University of Mississippi. And regardless whether you are a freshman, a first year student, or a senior, and even a graduate student, we want to make sure that you are finding ways to connect and really get involved here at the university. We have over 400 student organizations that we work with. And I'll talk a little bit more about those organizations in a second. Excuse me. I would like to make it very clear that leadership is something that anybody can do. You're not necessarily born a leader. It's something that takes practice. It's something that you get better at. It's a skill set that you have to develop, and you have to make sure that you are taking the time to truly know what that identity means if you take it on. The leadership is the second thing that we offer here with the student union. And finally, the third thing would be our campus activities. We do a lot of activities for the student body. Everything, in a regular year, or what we used to, when we're not having social distance, from concerts performed by our SAA, laser tags to silent discos, which are really fun. Um, those are like some of our most popular events that we put on. And to be a part of some of these organizations, you would just have to sign up through membership. So with our Students Activities Association, you don't necessarily have to join the student organizations to even be a part of the activities that they put on, which are free for all the students. Moving along, we want to make sure that you know that there is a reason behind getting involved. What we know is that students who are involved during their college career are 3 times more likely to graduate within 5 years than their counterparts who do not get involved on campus or get in some type of involvement which will help build those allegiances to your university. So being involved really helps enhance your college experience. Because a lot of times the things that you might be doing in these experiences will help enhance your overall experience outside of the classroom as well. So we want to make sure that you know that by getting involved, you can help yourself, but then you can also find ways to really give back to the University of Mississippi community, as well as the Oxford and Lafayette County. We want to make sure that you know that getting involved is a way to make a difference, but then it's also something that can help you really sustain yourself here at the university. Finally, this idea of creating community is something that is very near and dear to our hearts here in the Leadership Engagement Office with the Student Union, because we know that you are responsible for building your community here at the university. We have seen a lot, really a lot of great things come out of the organizations who we work together with. They build coalitions around important issues on campus, but they are also able to really sort of network with one another and get to know each other and do some really amazing things together. So we want you to think about it from the why, and then really finding your place, your space, and your people to help make this university work best for you. So again, kind of highlighting what I was just talking about, we had, there was a 2008, there was a survey from the National Survey of Student Engagement that found higher levels of engagement in a variety of curricular and co-curricular activities, significantly and positively contribute to cumulative GPA and students' perceptions of the overall academic experience at their institution. So what this means, again, kind of going back to what I was just talking about a minute ago, it just means that we know that student involvement exists on college campuses because it's there to enhance your experience. Boom. So regardless of what your major might be, and regardless of what you're choosing to do in your professional life, you have the opportunity to enhance what you are doing in the classroom and improving your overall academic experience by getting involved. Like I mentioned earlier, here we have over 400 student organizations and counting, and we have a new student organization that are popping up all of the time and registering with our office. But we have about 20 different categories that these groups fall into based on the interest groups. So you're going to get to meet a lot of these groups throughout the week. If you haven't been here previously, we did record all of our sessions, so you can always go back on the Student Union page and look at the different orgs that decided to come and speak and give information about their student organization. But 400 student organizations and the ability to create your own student group here is really amazing, because if you find that there's something that you like to do or that you're interested in and it's not necessarily here just yet, you can start that as your own as a student. We want to encourage you and help you create your own student organization. And it's a pretty quick and easy process. So you'll just have to find an advisor at the university that will work with your group. Then you will have to have at least 6 of you, and the 6 of you all sort of found your group and create a bylaw and constitution that can be uploaded into our student engagement portal, which is called the forum. Once you've done all of that, we work with you all to get you registered and get ready and do some training to make sure that your organization is going to be successful. So like I said, it's a pretty quick process and it's pretty easy. And there's something that we enjoy as our students can really sort of define what they want their involvement experience to look like by creating your own student group. So what we have here at the University of Mississippi to help us navigate all of these different involvement, engagement, and engagement opportunities is that student engagement platform I was just talking about called the Forum. So if you want to, if you're on your laptop or your phone, you can look at this as we sort of go through it. But it's gonna be Ole Miss Campus Labs.edu is where our forum is located. You should have already gotten a little bit familiarized with the forum because the link that you used to fill out this form to be here was located on the forum. And that's really neat about the forum is that it puts all of this stuff at your fingertips. So you can figure out what organizations you want to be a part of and how to contact those leaders of the organizations that you are interested in. Another cool thing that the forum does is that you can see what events are going on in every day here on campus with the registered student organizations. So I want to show you some of the functionalities of the forum really quick. We are working on posting some videos now to our website that will give you a little bit more insight on how to utilize the forum, but it is sort of a quick training to give you some ideas on how you can navigate it. So first and foremost, how do I find an organization to join? Yes, we want you to find an organization to join. So what you would do is to go on the forum, and then all you would have to do is click on the organizations tab at the top. After you log in with your My Ole Miss credentials, you will be able to have the same access with your My Ole Miss credential, and the forum access is the same as you would use for your email. So that is really cool that you don't have to think about 3 to 4 other different passwords. So you will just log in and click on Organizations tab. Then what that will allow you to do is to go through and pick different categories of groups. And again, like I said, we have over 20 different categories of organizations. And what the forum will do is pull up the different organizations that are a part of each category. So again, really cool features, and we want to make sure that you are aware of how to search for organizations. You can spend a lot of time looking through the different profiles of this different student groups. Also, you can spend more time contacting them if you're interested in doing that. So what you can do is if you want to join in organizations, you can click the join button when you are on that profile. But you can also contact the president or the primary contact for each organization on the forum. Just by clicking the contact button, that will send an email to them automatically, letting them know that you are interested. And they might reach back out to you and say, hey, you know, we're not just accepting people right now, but we're going to have a meeting very soon to allow people to ask us questions about how to get involved. Or, you know, maybe they're going to be hosting some type of event soon, or where you can sign up to get involved in the organization. Yeah. The other thing, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. Will, can you go to the next slide for me? Yes. So another cool thing that the forum is doing is that we do have a QR code which will log all your interactions that you have with the forum. So if you decide to go to a student um, event, the QR code will let us know that, like, hey, you were at this event at this time. And it's a really cool feature that we have. Well, this will put automatically, and like I said, remind you about the involvement fair and about the other student orgs that we have. So we're going to transition a little bit into talk more about some of the organizations here and the leadership and engagement within the student union. Because these 5 organizations offer different ways to get involved that don't necessarily mean you have to join them right away, because we do a lot of different programming throughout the year. Now, I would say that these 5 organizations are really awesome. I have personally been a part of 4 of them, so I love each and every one of these organizations. And I want to encourage you all to, if you are interested in some of these things at these groups, I want to encourage you to go and try to get involved with them and just go to see some of their events that they're going to put on through the year. But it's by no means a requirement for you to go and be a member of these organizations or to attend some of the events that they're going to be putting on. I just strongly encourage you, because I enjoyed going to those different events my first year and then sophomore year, and then that's how I became involved in a lot of them. So I'm going to go through and tell you a little bit about SAA, Rebelthon, the big event, ASB, and the leadership and engagement ambassadors. So let's get started. First and foremost, we have the Student Activities Association. Like I mentioned earlier, Jordan is the advisor for this group, and they do so much on campus each year. I also want to remind you all that this year is going to look a little bit different because of COVID-19. But they are working really hard right now on planning what Welcome Week is going to look like for fall 2020. The combinations of some in-person events as well as virtual activities for all incoming and current students to participate in. But they're the student group that is responsible for Welcome Week. Like I mentioned, they are the people that put on Ole Miss Idol, our Homecoming Week, our SA Unplugged, which is an event that happens on the Student Union Plaza and involves some of our different student organizations that will either dance or sing or do some different performance, as well as Hotty Toddy Holidays, which will be put on in front of our Student Union Plaza. And we like to go to one of the trees in front of the Lyceum and light it up as well. All of these events are brought to you by SA. And each year that they program them every year. So they are located here in the Student Union, and they are always seeking guidance and sort of advice from students on what you all would like to see. So make sure that if you have any questions or creative ideas for programming, that you reach out to them and engage with them on social media and all of that good stuff. They do a really great job of posting different polls on their social media channels. Next, we're going to talk about Rebelthon. So for those of you who may have some familiarity with this organization, Rebelthon houses our university's dance marathon, where we give back and raise awareness for Children of Mississippi, or the Blair Batson Children's Hospital in Jackson, Mississippi. So each year, Rebelthon puts on a variety of events and programs to help fundraise for the Children's Hospital in Jackson. They have done a really great job this past year of raising over $1.2 million. Since we started Rebelthon Dance Marathon about 6 years ago, it's a really great opportunity for you to engage in some philanthropic activities here at the University of Mississippi. That probably is the highlight of the experience, is that at the end of the year in February, each year is Rebelthon. There is what we call a dance marathon, and it's about 12 hours long, where we have different programs, and you can even learn the morale dance, which we put on every hour on the hour. And you'll do all these great things to help raise awareness for the Children's Hospital. It's a fun time, and I strongly encourage you all to participate in it. They are doing a lot of work around making sure that any student can really participate, because no matter how much money you are raising, you're giving money back to a really awesome cause that impacts a lot of people in Mississippi. Because Jackson is the only children's hospital here in the state of Mississippi. So we are here to support our state hospital and have been able to do some really cool things through that. They are also very active on social media. So we encourage you all to follow them and make sure that you are paying attention to what they will have going on. We're actively working on figuring out what our 2020 to 2021 will look like, um, based on the restrictions that we have for COVID-19. It has really changed a whole lot of things, especially with the dance marathon. And if you're interested in the dance marathon, Rebathon, please reach out to those students about getting involved. And they will be, and they had a panel earlier this week, and you can just go on the Student Union page and look at that panel session if you want to know a little bit more about that organization. Next, we have the big event. This is a really awesome way to give back to the Lafayette, Oxford, and University community. Unfortunately, for 2020, we had to cancel the big event, which was really sad because it is our largest day of service here in the state of Mississippi. So we have thousands of students come together to do a variety of service projects in the Oxford and Lafayette County areas. And like I said, we really give back to the community because they have given us a whole lot. One of the things you'll notice about being a student here at the University of Mississippi is that Oxford really is our home, and we like to take that seriously. We want to make sure that we are doing a lot to give back to the people who live here, as well as the different industries and services that exist here. So a big event, you have the opportunity as a student to register and participate in the day-long service projects, coming together to really sort of go out and do some really great projects like I mentioned earlier. We allow teams to sign up and do all of the work and do all that work to go out into the community and spend a few hours doing some service for our community. We give you a lot of our events, get involved, free t-shirts, I would like to say, and the big event does those as well as other different departments. So if you like free t-shirts, we are your people. But then also you get the opportunity to really see some of the things that exist here in our community and to really help change some of that stuff. So if you have any questions about the big event, they were also here on Monday, so you can look on the Ole Miss Student Union page to look at their panel and to get more information about their program. We are really hoping to be able to have our 2021 big event. I'm pretty hopeful about it, but we will see as sort of things happens with the coronavirus, and once we figure that out, we'll be able to get there. So up next, we have our associated student body, or as you will hear a lot, called ASB. So what ASB exists to do is to create an advocacy for the students between the student body and our administration here on campus. They are extremely active here at the University of Mississippi. Just about everything that sort of goes on, we want to make sure that you know, as a first-year student or a transfer student, we have a few different ways to get involved in participating in our Welcome Week that ASB will host. They will also be hosting Creed Week, which is where you get the chance to learn a little bit more about the University of Mississippi's Creed and what it means to be a student here at Ole Miss. And then further thinking about all of the different ways you might be able to get involved in our first year experience program that they have through ASB. So you probably have gotten some information potentially about the program, but if not, you can ask some questions to Will, who serves as one of the advisors for ASB, or you can look on the Ole Miss Student Union page because ASB was here on Monday and they did have a panel as well. You can get involved with the first year experience program and the legislative council, which exists with our legislative aides in the legislative branch. And there's some other ways to also get involved in ASB in the different branches that they have as well. So finally, we have our newest program here, which is where I serve as the head ambassador for, which is the Leadership and Engagement Ambassadors. So we are here to basically do a lot of workshops and different seminars to help you sort of learn more about what involvement looks like here at the university. And we provide you with one-on-one consultations once the fall starts to really help you narrow down some of your ideas of what involvement might look like and give you an idea of what you might want to get involved here at the University of Mississippi. So we are a great group. I like to say we're very energetic of 17 student leaders here, and we really want to make sure that your college experience is the best that it can possibly be. From the student involvement standpoint, we were able to have a session on Monday, Tuesday, and yesterday where we talked a little bit about our organization. So if you weren't able to catch those, you can go on the Ole Miss Student Union page as well and listen to our panel. We are very active on social media like Facebook and Instagram. If you want to follow us, we try to keep up with our information, like what we're doing and different events that other organizations are having on campus on our social media as well. And we are going to be launching all of our involvement consultation very soon. So if you follow our social media, you'll be able to see when those will start. So once again, be on the lookout for that on our social media, or during Welcome Week, you'll probably hear from us. So I want to talk a little bit about leadership because it's not only in the department's name, but it's something that the student union truly think is important for all students to really start seeing themselves as a leader. Because like I said, leadership is something that anyone can do. It's a learned trait. It's a learned skill. And because they want to make sure that we know that you can be a leader inside the classroom and a student organization with your family at home, whatever that might look like for you. It is something that can be applied to every single one of us on this call. They believe that leadership is a process rather than a set of characteristics. It is building capacity to solve problems, demonstrate values, and thrive in changing and challenging the world. This is how they go about defining what leadership experiences look like for students. But then also, anytime we are thinking about a program or service, they are thinking about this definition and how it can be truly helpful for student leaders here on campus. It is definitely something that anyone can learn, like I said, and it's something that is based, it is not something that's based on any position that you may have in life. So they try to build a lot of programs and services that would enhance our leadership experience. They offer a lot of leadership opportunities here at the University of Mississippi. So one, this includes Empower, which is the extended orientation program for entering students. Unfortunately, right at this moment, we are at a cap for this program because of the whole coronavirus situation. Unfortunately, but we're excited for the students who are coming to attend this that are new students just like you all. But we will also like to offer additional programs throughout the year. For instance, we have our Post Leadership Conference, which we have, like I said, every year, and are planning and working on getting that ready for the start of 2020 and 2021. We also offer different registered student organization leadership workshops that student groups can contact us and about coming into facilitate. And there they would do some Clifton Strengths Finders workshops, which I will talk about here in a sec. And the workshops in the Clifton Strengths Finder says it's really help coach you all how to figure out what it is that makes you tick and how you can make that really your goal for yourself and to bring you to all these different organizations that you want to be involved in. The student union also offers a variety of opportunities for you to get involved. So each of the 5 student organizations that I mentioned earlier has executive boards and leadership opportunities that you can get involved in and apply for. And so we want to make sure that you are prepared. And if you want to get any help with that, we are here to make sure you are getting ready for that process. And the student union team is helping here to answer any questions that you might have as you are preparing to apply for a leadership position in different student organizations or for one of the 5 organizations that might be housed in the student union. So again, we are constantly growing in this area in the department, and we have been existing for over a year now. And so we're always asking questions to the students to find out more about what we can offer you to really help you grow in leadership and involvement opportunities. As I mentioned earlier, the Strengths Finders, the student union want to give you all a little bit more information about this, which I'm going to talk about right now, because it's something that any student can participate in. We have had a lot of our senior organizations take advantage of the Strengths Finders, which is from the Gallup, which is a surveying and analytic company that has over 33 different themes that any student and any person really can learn a little bit more about themselves and how they tick. And so I want to give you all, and so the student union wants to give you all an assessment. It's a pretty intensive assessment because it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to complete. But the really cool thing is that it gives you the different things about yourself that they will come and talk to you about and coach you through about how you can really understand a little bit more about yourself and who you are as an individual and how that might show up on the team you are on and how that will affect your team work style and all of those different things that makes us who we are. So the student union offers different strengths training through the registered student organizations, but then they also do workshops for student organizations that ask them to bring them in. And then they can also do individualized coaching sessions where you can meet one-on-one with one of the team members to talk about your strengths and get a little bit more insight about who you are based on those different things that came up on your report. So this is really awesome because they really been starting this at the beginning of January of this year. And they have had some really great conversations with people and are excited to see what can happen as they get more and more students involved in this. So I want to offer up the different ways that you can connect with the student union office and the different student organizations. If you want to go ahead and follow us on Facebook or Instagram or even Twitter, we would love to have you. But then we will also like to invite you all to visit our office whenever we are back on campus. The Student Union will be hopefully opening for operations again pretty soon, and the Student Union will be sharing that information and have it all on their social media. But they're pretty excited to have the students back on campus, and we're hopeful about the fall. But as things change, they will sort of keep people updated through the different social media platforms, and they will make sure to send out the emails about things as things are happening if you haven't gotten to the habit of that yet. But make sure you always check your email 2 to 3 times a day because there's a lot of really important stuff that's going to be coming out soon, not only about academics, but about all the other fun stuff that you can have the chance of being a part of. So make sure you're checking your email and make sure you're paying attention to what's coming out from the university. So at this point, I have talked a whole lot, and I want to offer up the opportunity if anybody has any questions for you to ask them, just because we want to make sure that you are getting the opportunity to engage with not only me, but the student union as well, and ask any questions that you might have. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So the question was, what should the first step be to get involved once we get to campus? If you are unsure about what you want to get involved in, the leadership and engagement ambassadors are going to be doing one-on-one consultations. So you can come into our office located in the student union and ask us about like, hey, I want to get involved, but I'm pretty sure I don't know what just yet. And we will be able to work with you and to find which organizations which best suits your interest, and make sure that you get in contact with one of the leaders a part of that organization. So the first step is just come to the student union and just ask one of us to say like, hey, I just want to get involved. That's a good question. Well, if there aren't any more questions, like I said, feel free to go look back at all of the panel questions that are different student organizations were here this week. You can locate those videos on the Ole Miss Student Union page. Also, email getinvolved@olemiss.edu if you have any more questions. And Will, I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
All right, let's give Mr. a great virtual round of applause for leading us through that session. He did a great job. Definitely want to reiterate everything that he said and encourage y'all to reach out if you have any other questions about getting involved in any of our organizations that we have here at the University of Mississippi. Be on the lookout for more information coming from our office about involvement opportunities, as well as what the fall will look like regarding some of our involvement fairs. So thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. We hope you got had a great time taking advantage of all the different things we offered this week, and be on the lookout for more. And hotty toddy.